Welcome to our Dine acrylic paint art lesson. The first thing I want you to do is pull out your kit and take a look at what's inside. You will have a 8x10 canvas, your paint pots, which include 6 different acrylic paint colors, a set of brushes, all different sizes, a color wheel, a piece of red cardstock, and our step-by-step instructions, as well as a brush stroke sheet and a piece of practice sheet. So pull out your practice sheet and let's first get started with practicing our brush strokes. So pull that sheet out and keep it nearby. The first stroke I want you to practice is this top one. It's purple. And take your biggest paintbrush, and it's labeled with 5/8 on it. Looks like that. Get a little paint on your paintbrush. Now you can choose to leave your paint in the paint pots or do what I did and pour it on. This is just a piece of cardboard I had laying around the house. Makes a nice palette. And then the first stroke we're gonna practice is just down and release the pressure. So you're putting pressure down and putting a lot of paint down and then pulling it up. I'm just gonna try that a few times. Pull it up, paint down, pull it up. And then rinse your brush off, have some water nearby. And then I like to dry it so that the next paint I get is not really wet. Get some nice vibrant color. Clean the brush. And then dry it off with a paper towel. Okay, the next stroke is similar and it goes up. So I'm gonna use that same brush. I'm gonna maybe try a different color. I'll try the red. And I'm gonna go down and swoop up. Just like a little swoop up. Okay, so practice that one a few times. For the next one, we're gonna get a different brush. I'm gonna clean this one off. And for the next one, we're just going to get what's called a round brush, and I want you to get the one that has a 5 on it, okay? And we're gonna practice this squiggle right here. So go ahead and get some paint. And you're just gonna make a squiggle mark like that. And what you'll start to see is all the different designs and textures and widths that are different with each different brush. So go ahead and have fun making those squiggles, and then we're gonna wash that brush off. And then I'm gonna use this brush again to do what's called stippling, which is just little dots, like that. And I think I'll try the yellow paint. And if you just hold the brush straight up and go down, you can make little dots. It's called stippling. So practice that, wash your brush off. And continue on practicing the last two. Try different brushes and see what kind of effects that you like. Put that aside. You can practice that anytime you want. You can pull that out on a day when you've got nothing to do and just practice some brush strokes. But let's get started on our painting. So I want you to get out your canvas. Maybe put this practice sheet aside. Keep it nearby if you want to practice something before you put it on your canvas. And I've got my canvas here. And the first thing I want you to do is, and we're going to be mostly working with the first brush we started with that has 5/8 on it. I want you to start with the dark colors, which would be the blues, the green, the red, and make broad strokes on your canvas, like this. Or swirl up, or just kind of drop the paint, like a dab almost, like that. And I'm just gonna kind of do that all over my canvas where I'd like to see some blue working similar stroke, just kind of pushing the paint down and pulling the brush up. Like that. And go ahead and cover as much blue as you'd like. I find painting relaxing, so take your time with this and just paint. Oh, this is a pretty blue. Just going in and putting the blue paint in everywhere I'd like. Okay, now I think I'd like to add some red, so I'm going to wash my brush, get it back in your water. Get your paper towel handy. And I'm gonna go back in and do the same thing with the red paint. Just gonna make some quick swoop up a little brush strokes. See, I'm taking the brush, pushing down and just pulling it up, just like that. At this point, I'm trying just to cover the white areas. I'm not really mixing colors yet. All right, let me go in and finish up with my red. All right, I think I'm ready to add some green. So I'm gonna wash my brush. And I'm gonna go in and get some green paint. Now remember, this is acrylic paint, so it has a lot more pigment in it than some other paints. And it goes on in a really nice bold color. Let's see how nice and bright that green is. So I'm gonna go ahead and add green wherever I want to have green. Same type of sweeping quick stroke. Still trying to fill in those white areas. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush again. And now I think what I'd like to do is start mixing some colors together. So take out your color wheel. And if you've never seen a color wheel before, this introduces you to what primary colors are, secondary and tertiary colors. And I don't want to go through this too much today because there's a lot of information on here, but I would like you to read it and turn it over, and it explains in detail what each color is and how to achieve that color. So even over here, it gives you mixing tips. So for today, we're going to talk about primary colors, which are red, yellow, and blue. And we've not put yellow down yet, but we put the red and blue down. And then secondary colors, which are orange, green, and violet. Okay, so let me put some yellow down, get my third primary color in there. Again, I'm just gonna go right on top of some white. And if it mixes a little with another color, that's okay. It makes it look kind of cool. So I'm just going in there with some yellow. If you have an old piece of cardboard or just can break up a box you got in the mail, you could even use part of our box that we sent this kid in. It makes a nice palette because you can hold your paint up if you want to. Just go in and add your yellow. All right. Okay, It's looking very colorful. So now I'm going to wash my brush again. And wipe it off. And I'm going to go in and I'm still using the same brush. I'm going to mix white with some of these colors and see what happens. So I'm going to take a little white and I'm just going to mix it right here on my palette. I'm getting a nice pink color. I think I like that. I'm going to go ahead and add it right on top. We're putting the lighter colors on top so we can see them. Dark ones underneath will definitely show through. Now I'm going to go in and add all those. Wash my brush again, and I think I'm going to add some take the blue and add some white to that. So I really like light blue. It's a nice color. Now you also have a piece of what looks like wax paper in your kit, and that is also used for mixing colors. It's a nice piece of wax paper you can mix your colors on. You can even save it. If you cover it or wrap it in tin foil or saran wrap, the acrylic paint will last for a couple days. Maybe even longer if you keep air out of it. Okay, now I'm going to go in and add the blue. You can see I'm adding some what's called depth to my painting by putting the lighter colors on top. My painting no longer looks flat. It looks like the colors are almost dancing off the canvas. So I'm just going to go in and keep adding some more of that light blue on there. Again, I'm still using the same paintbrush I started with. You can play with the other paintbrushes too anytime you'd like if you want to use a different width brush and go in and add some smaller strokes or some squiggles. Okay, I'm liking the way this is looking now, and I'm almost done covering all the white. The last thing I might do is add a little white to that green. See what that looks like. So I've washed my brush. Take that green and add a little white. Oh, look at that. Almost like a teal color. Really nice green. Okay, I'm going to go in and I think I'm going to finish with that. I'm going to cover the rest of my white spots. Really do a good job covering this white canvas. And you know, you can spend a really long time on this if you're enjoying the painting. You can try using your color wheel, mixing different colors, follow the instructions on here, and you can get all kinds of neat colors. Wow, I really like the way this looks. Wow. Okay, now we're gonna let this dry for a few minutes, and then we're gonna come back and add our heart. So go ahead and put it aside and maybe work on your brush strokes on your scrap piece of paper while you're waiting for it to dry. And we'll come back in a minute and do our heart. Okay, let's finish this up. Let's get our red piece of cardstock that's in your kit, and you're gonna fold it in half. This is the easiest way to make a heart. Fold it in half. You probably did this when you were a little kid. And you're going to take a pen or pencil and you're going to draw half the heart on one side. Just like that. Any shape heart you like. Fat, skinny. And then you're going to get some scissors and you're going to cut out along the line you just drew. And there you have it. And we're going to move this out of the way. And then you're going to put this heart down right like that on your canvas. Now, you can hold it, or if you wanted to, you can put a little touch of tape on either side. But I think it's easy enough just to hold with one hand while you paint with the other. And then you're gonna get, again, the same paintbrush that we used earlier. And you're gonna keep it kind of dry, so wash it and dry it off with a paper towel. And then get your black paint. And you're gonna go around the heart, brushing the paint away from the heart like this. Kind of start on the heart and then just brush away. Try to hold it up so you can see a little better. I'm just brushing the paint away, making sure I get a good edge on there. Just going to go around the whole heart. Again, brushing away, kind of pushing down and lifting my brush, pushing and lifting at the end. You can kind of see the brush stroke at the end. Gives it a cool brush look. Just kind of brushing away all around. Okay. And then when you're done, I'm just gonna pick this right up. Wow, looks like somebody airbrushed it. I think it looks really cool. Put that aside. So now you have this with your fun heart. And then to make it look more like it's popping off the canvas, we're gonna go back in. We're gonna get a little more paint. And we're gonna just kind of, again, a sweeping motion with a fairly dry brush with just the paint on it, no water. We're gonna kind of just go around the side a little bit like that. See that? And then I think I wanna come down to the middle here, brush this out a little bit, and do a little more on the other side. You don't need much of the paint because you're just kind of pulling the brush toward you so you can see those brush strokes. And there you have it. It really looks like that heart is popping right off that canvas. This would look really pretty hung up in your room too, or maybe to give as a gift to somebody. Up to you. But I love this project. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. Would love to see a picture if you'd like to send it. And thank you for joining us today. And our next project, we are going to use some more of these fun, next kit I should say, which will come out close to May. We're going to use a lot more of these fun paintbrushes. But in the meantime, go ahead and practice with them on your paper, use your leftover paint, make your own design. Have a great day.